This question is for all the actors. Do you guys ever get worried about being typecasted, knowing the longevity of the Stargate franchise?
No. No. Because I think we're playing really wonderfully complex characters. You know, they're not like these kind of just one-note caricatures. So in that sense, you see so many different facets of the characters that it would be hard to be typecast, I think, on this show.
Well, and on top of that, you got other actors from the previous series, I think, going on to do some. Michael Shanks on Burn Notice was great. You got Jason. Do you see the picture of him as Conan? It's ridiculous. You know, there are. It's hard in this industry because once you do play a character, that's how people see you for a bit. But that's going to happen with anything, Stargate or not.
Except it's not Conan, it's Ronan.
Story about it. David, I got a question for you.
Yes, Barry White?
So you have a new relationship coming. How is that going to impact the love for Chloe?
Aww. I think as you saw in the finale, Eli tried to put his cards on the table, you know, in a situation, and I really loved that moment between Eli and Chloe, where Chloe's just kind of like, I know. You know, there's something really beautiful about that. And I think that shows, at least for what you'll see right away, that where their relationship starts to grow. They connected for a reason, and they will always be close, and who knows. But I think it's important for Eli to really explore other relationships. I mean, he has his friendship with Scott. He has whatever he has with Chloe. There's some great little moments, Eli and Ray, you know, starting in Faith when they first really connected as friends. I think it's really important when these new characters come in to really, I don't know, really explore it. I loved it. I really loved every second of acting in those moments.
I have a question for David. In the upcoming season, are we going to see Eli have any violent initiatives rather than just being a desk boy?
Violent initiatives. I like that. Call the president. We should call it that. We have a violent initiative going on. Yeah, you know, going back to the emotional thing, there's, without spoiling anything, there's a really great moment. I love that Eli kind of started in this place of not, like, he always wanted this to be real, but he wasn't quite expecting it. So when he was thrust into the situation, he trusted everyone else to kind of take care of him. And I think, especially throughout season 1, you saw him start to take on some responsibility and try to pitch in a little bit. And that definitely goes more in season 2. And one of my favorite moments, without ruining it, is Eli kind of getting fed up. He gets pissed, really, I think, and really, I don't know, I see Eli growing a lot in season 1 and 4 times as much in season 2. It's great. And I keep asking every day for a gun, but for some reason they're scared to give me one.
You had a gun, remember?
You know, during weapons training.
It wasn't loaded, though. It wasn't loaded.
It wasn't, yeah.
It never actually happened.
My question is for Robert and Maine, because you've done it the most, but when you're traveling...
Excuse me?
Sorry about that. When you are traveling using the stones, is it super confusing to keep it straight who is who, and do you have any tricks that you use to get through that?
Yeah, well, when we get stoned, it is quite a challenge because it's always trying to remember when I'm being serious. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, it's always really difficult sometimes to remember which character you're supposed to be, and then incorporating a lot of the mannerisms of the person you are now in the body of, to convey to the audience that, I mean, there was a couple of moments of being stoned where I'm sorry, at least that's what I call it. No one else calls it? I don't call it that. Didn't I just say that's what at least I call it? Okay. Such prudes. Where I was, had to play a quadriplegic, so that, you know, moments like that, it's very challenging, and I love it as an actor when I have to do scenes where I was also in the body of Dr. Perry, and she has very unique mannerisms with her hands because she was the quadriplegic and now she's able to walk and move and feed herself, and you know, so her mannerisms are very distinct to that particular character. So it's been a great challenge and a lot of fun. And when I say when I get stoned, it doesn't mean I'm stoned.
Next.
Hi. Being from Vancouver, I've always felt that the Stargate franchise had a great relationship with the city, and I'm curious as to what you guys are feeling about the city now that you're the next show.
I want to move there.
I'm from there.
I love it. It's just gorgeous. Actually, we're taking a family vacation up there this year. It's just one of the most wonderful, beautiful places in the world with amazingly kind, fun people. Vancouver is awesome. If any of you if you've never visited, you need to go. Now I'm a travel agent.
This question is for Mr. Cooper. For all the Marines that love your show, please stop calling Master Sergeant Greer's character Sergeant. He's a Master Sergeant or top.
I'm sorry, last part again?
Huh.
The correct reference is either Master Sergeant or top. Most Master Sergeants, if you call them Sergeant, will push you in the deck.
I'll keep that in mind.
Wow.
For the actors, you said that you're getting closer together as characters, but there's been a classic conflict between particularly Camille and Rush with Young. How do you reconcile the struggle for power on the ship, but say you're getting closer?
There's an episode in the second series called The Greater Good, which is one of Rush's kind of lines that he says a lot in the show, and that really is it's a wonderful episode, that, because everything really comes up, is put on the table in that episode. Everything is kind of up. And it's the final kind of real moment between Rush and Young. Rush and Young have been like this, obviously, you guys know, for the whole of the first show. And it's pretty much like that up until I think around about episode 7 or 8 or something like that, when Greater Good comes along. But Greater Good then kicks off a few episodes. In fact, the next one's called Malice. There's one after that called Twin Destinies. And really, inside those 3 episodes there, I think addresses what you're talking about, that these characters then have to, they accept, certainly Rush and Young and Greater Good accept that they can't, unless one of them dies, and that's it, they're going to be stuck together for the rest of the time, so they have to get on with it, and they have to, even just for the sake of the crew, the benefit of the crew, they have to pretend in some way to get on. But I think it's more than that this time, it's more than just pretending. I think Rush certainly, and Young certainly is trying their best to get on with each other now, and to, as Robert said earlier on, move the mission forward. And that's what Rush kind of presents to Young at the end, is that we can either sit and we can fight for the rest of the time, or you can stop looking behind you, stop looking at the past, look at what's ahead and aim for that.
I think there's a recognition of a common goal, which I think forces everyone to kind of rise above some of the differences they may have had. That question deserves